It's pretty obvious this is a dovetail jig video. This particular dovetail jig is made by UJK over in Britain, and it is now being distributed in the United States by TSO.
Hi, I'm Chris Paulk with the Smart Woodshop. If you'd like to get a detailed set of plans to build a smart bench, a smart station, any of the accessories, the router table, the smart cart, or the Smart Woodshop itself, there's a link in the description.
This video here will only be about the dovetail jig, what comes in the box, so what you can expect if you decide this is the right one for you. In future videos, more than one probably, I'll demonstrate the different dovetails and joints that this dovetail makes, because it makes 6 different ones. All right, no unboxing, they kind of bore me. I already did that. So it's unboxed. This is what you get. Everything on my bench top here came in that box. One of the most impressive things that comes in the box is the manual. I haven't done any assembly yet, so this is how it comes out of the box. Everything is as you see it, but they show you the minor assembly that it takes. This actually does 6 different joints: box or finger joint, through dovetails, half blind, corner bead dovetail, sliding dovetail, a groove. Make sure you hang on to this. It's very easy to read. The text is in the right font so you can see it. I still need my glasses, mainly because my arms have gotten so short. This is a well done. Obviously you get the jig. It's not lightweight. This thing is solid steel, and there is no question that every part and piece are of top quality. Included are 2 combs. All the etching on it is there deep enough it's going to hold up through dovetails and the box joint. Half blinds, and then the long groove here would be for your sliding dovetails. Everything about it, you can tell that this is, these are probably cut on a very nice metal CNC machine. Bushings. So these go on your router. They've got 2 sizes. And so when we look at the different bits, which are also included, these will line up with those depending on whether you're using it to do the blind dovetail or the through dovetails. These will vary, but they give you what you need. And the nice thing about the bushings versus, say, a router bit with a bearing on it is there's no contact of the cutter possible, unless you really jerk your router away. So these are going to ride in the comb, in the jig portion, and just not going to wear these out. So you're going to get a long life out of these and out of your combs. 3 router bits. So you get a dovetail and you get 2 straight cutters. This is a bushing that goes from 1/4 inch inside diameter to 8 millimeters. So that would be common, like if you're using a fest tool. Most routers are going to be set up for 1/4 inch, so you'll be good to go. But if you've got an 8 millimeter collet, then you'll be able to use it as well. So they're covering all the bases with not making you have to pick up a bunch of accessories. These are the mounts. I'll show you how these go on. They go on and they stay on. They're adjustable. They move your combs in and out and up and down. But this is a magnetic vacuum attachment. As a finished carpenter, almost woodworker, I don't really claim that. I have great respect for woodworkers, furniture makers and such. I'm more of a carpenter. I can build cabinets and hang doors and run trim, and I'm really proud, cope corners. I'm really proud of the work I do, but a woodworker is that next level. And this is sort of one of those hybrid tools where, yes, I have a lot of use for it, cabinet making, drawers and stuff like that if I want to do a dovetail. But furniture makers and stuff, they can take this kind of thing and go to places that I haven't even thought about going. Same thing with the domino, which is another tool I use heavy, but to see how some of the furniture makers, you guys, kudos to you. Your skills are incredible. I love seeing your stuff. I think, though, I'll stick to buying it from you and doing what I do. And to think of every detail, they provided the wrench that you will need for every bit of assembly and adjustment on this. And it is a nice tool. Again, it's not just a little cheap you throw away. You want to hang on to that. All right, let's go into all this work to assemble this thing. I have done no pre-assembly. This is how everything came out of the box. So the jig itself, the main part of the tool, it is designed to sit at the edge of your bench. So it will go up tight. And at this point, there's a number of ways to attach it to your bench because you probably don't want it moving around when you're clamped and moving. With the Paulk workbench, the MFT style benches, it's pretty easy. You can put it anywhere because you got all these holes to clamp to. You can use a clamp like this. These are great because they'll drop into any holes, any clamping scenario that I have. Another option that I'm thinking about is mounting. There's 4 holes, and I'm thinking about cutting a board and mounting this to it. The MFT holes in it, just out on the ends. So then I can just drop this on the bench anywhere, and it'll line up with sides, ends, anywhere along the way, and then use the power locks that I use to attach all the other accessories. And then this just becomes another accessory that's perfect for the Smart Woodshop system. There's not much to assemble here. So there's 2 holes on one end and 1 on the other, and I know that the support goes out on the front, so the single holes would go out, and then the adjustable attachment point will go down, obviously. There's a threaded shaft, and there are 2 nuts on this. One is a knob, a through knob, and the other one is a metal adjuster that you can move pretty easy. It's pretty big, easy to move. This is because you'll be moving these combs in and out and up and down. So this drops 2 holes back, 1 hole forward, this down, and it drops in between the through knob and the back knob. And at this point, I'm thinking this is a one and done. I don't think I'll be taking this off for any reason, unless maybe for storage if I wanted to break it down a little bit more. Now, if I loosen them up, you can see they are spaced exactly where they need to be to mount the combs. When you're picking a joint out, it's going to tell you whether you're using A or B. So pretty clearly marked, but they also put on it, stenciled on that it's half blind and sliding through dovetail and box. If you've done dovetails, you can loosen or tighten them by adjusting the jig portion or the comb. And they show you on here for the pins, whether you move this in or out, whether it tightens or loosens. And mounting the other comb would be exactly the same way. This one, of course, you'd reverse for your cuts. You adjust the clamps based on the thickness of your material, and they're done with these knobs here, and the top clamp and the bottom clamp are exactly the same. So I'd want to bring this comb out over my board that I'm going to cut, and that would be easily done by just loosening these up in a laser etched line, and you want to line that up with where the joint is, so the other board is going to butt in to this one, and that line is right where that goes. So once I have that set up, then I will take the back knob and bring it up to support it. This should show you how easy it is to set this up. Once you set this up once for whatever your cut you're doing, until you change to something different, you're not redoing that every time. You're just putting in different material. So if you're doing a bunch of drawers, you're not going to have to set and reset this. So now I want to do the up and down. So I'm going to loosen those front knobs again, just a little bit. And I need to lower this. I should have done that to begin with. So this material comes up to this, and that will set the actual, I'll lower that down. So that'll actually set the spacing for the comb up and down. And again, I've already done it in and out. So I could have done that all at once had I put that on first. Now the other thing that I like to do with any jig is I want to, even though I'm cutting down here, I'd like to make sure this is completely parallel. Give it up just a little bit end to end. So by loosening this up, I can either grab this material and move it down, or grab another piece of material the same thickness. And so now I can dial this in So that's locking on both ends. I'm getting good even pressure. And this is level all the way across, so I can lock that down. Notice I don't need any tools to do this. Now I've got the clamps all set up and I'm ready for the 18 mil material. The next thing I want to do is there's a little side stop actually on both sides. I'm working off this side, so this is the one I'm concerned about. Same spacing from the finger on both edges. Now I can eyeball this. So now you just push it over until it butts into the lower step butts into the side of this one. Tighten that up, and now this one has its stop with the absolute perfect offsets that you need to get a perfect joint. With one setup and one pass, I'm going to make both sides of the cut. And then if I've got a bunch of drawers to do, I'd have a stack and I would just unclip, put the next, everything is set up, it'd be hard to mess up. And also because this has a side stop on the other side, I could actually set up this exact scenario reverse over here, and I could load in a full drawer, both sides and backs, out in the field, whatever tool it is. It's really important that it's easy to set up and there's less room for error, because I'm into production. I'm not building like one piece of furniture that I can sort of work at it. I've got, you know, lots of drawers to make, or shelving, or lots of windows to doors to wrap. So I need level of action that makes a beautiful joint, but I need it to set up and be durable and functional. They've designed this well. With it all ready to cut, I'd set up my router and then plug in my vac hose, and this will just drop in right underneath, and you can see how that's going to be right where your cutter is. So even though my Festool routers have the suction right on the top, I probably go this route and use this instead, because it's going to be right where the dust is. It's set up to suck that dust in right where it's coming out from that bottom side. And if I if I set up both sides or had a longer piece, then I could just slide this over. The vacuum will come on automatically. It has nothing to do with the jig, but because I'll be using a corded router or a router with a Bluetooth battery, as soon as I turn it on, it's going to turn on the vacuum, even though the vacuum isn't physically plugged into the router. That just doesn't make any difference. And then when I'm changing the setup, this just comes off with a magnet and sets aside. So I like that. I can't wait to show you how well that collects dust. I think what I'll do is clean up all the dust around here and on the floor before we start making cuts. You know, and the more I think about this, I think I'm going to ask Chris to come out and cut a joint or two, because this is more in her wheelhouse. This is the kind of stuff she likes. She loves dovetails and box joints, and I'm more of a rabbet, dado, slot kind of carpenter. That's what I lean into. Dominoes, I like that kind of stuff. So I haven't really gotten a lot into this, and Chris has. So I think I'm going to have her come out and demonstrate this in a future video. So I'm going to look for your comments down below. I know she really likes the half blind dovetails, so probably have her do those. And the rest of the joinery would be just a different setup. But if you'd like to see multiple videos on the different joints that this will do, then comment down below and we'll maybe put together a series so you can see this one, see what you get, and then maybe step through one video for each of the 6 joints this does. Again, if you want to see that, make sure you let me know down below, because it takes a bit of time to put it together and edit and all. And if there isn't a big demand for it, then maybe we just do the one, show you how it works, and then let you figure out the rest. In the video description, I put a link to this dovetail jig. It'll take you over to TSO, the distributor for them. It is an affiliate link, so if you use that link, then they'll share a little bit with us. It's a great way for you to support the channel without paying any extra. Mahalo for hanging out with me in the Smart Wood Shop.